Are there advantages to aging? Yes, I am Debbi-Jo Horton, and welcome to Advantages to Aging. Join my guests and I as we discuss aging and what makes for a healthy lifestyle, which results in a quality life. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome, listeners, to another episode of Advantages to Aging. And wow, do I have a treat for you. I have Bobby Bobek of the Precision Coach with us today, who's going to talk to us about the aging process and how we can get better through it. Welcome, Bobby. How are you?
Hi, thank you. I'm doing well, and I'm grateful to be here.
Awesome. We're going to dive right in because you all know as we age and even into retirement, do we really need to be keeping up with professional development or personal development? Because, I mean, oftentimes we get taught all about that professional development or the personal development, which are two different things, just to get us to a specific career or promotion. What else can we be using it for?
Okay, I like that question because development or growth is something that I've discovered to be a tremendously joyful thing. Growing up, I remember always searching for something that gave my life meaning. I went from like a different philosophy to a different habit to a different addiction to something or another to I've gone through all of it, and I realized that I got joy or pleasure from all those things in life that I found here and there for a while, and then it went away. The one thing that never left me since I discovered it, since I became aware of it and what it can do is growth to become a better version of myself.
I like
And it's not, yeah, and it's not for the goal. It's not for getting there and being like, okay, now I'm there, I'm happy. I hope I can always have something that needs repair, something that needs growth, so that I can enjoy the growth process. Not so that I can get there, so that I could enjoy watching myself grow. And the joy of that and the meaning that that gives to a person, I believe is something that you never get used to, something you never want to put aside and now get to something else, because there's always something going on. It's always something you'd like to see better about yourself as a person that you can work on.
so in other words, where many people think that personal development is a way to get a raise or a promotion, it's beyond that. So
Yeah.
you should always be growing even further once you've achieved that. Is that what you're saying?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't say should, because that puts a pressure on us to go somewhere, to be somewhere in order to be happy. And one of my beliefs is that the whole point is to love the process, to love where we are, right? Not put it on myself to like, I have to get there and then I'll be happy. Because if
Mm.
I go with that mentality, there's always something to get to.
So what I think you're saying
Yes.
is that that should not be the goal. The goal is the growth and the
Right.
continual growing. Am I
Right.
am I understanding?
Absolutely, yeah. Because as humans, yeah, that's the part I wanted to remember. As humans, we don't like stagnancy. No one likes stagnancy, right? That's why we're often encouraged to get out of our comfort zone, because comfort zone gets too comfortable and it loses liveliness and it loses excitement,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
So we like to always be growing in one way or another, changing things around to our liking, to what we like, but always in motion. And that's the point. The point is to always, when I work on something on myself, when I have a goal somewhere, sometimes that goal changes before I even get there.
Mm.
Sometimes I realize, but I don't regret it because it's the process. It's the playing with things within yourself and watching yourself grow and flourish and become a better and better version of yourself all the time.
It reminds me that I used to be told if you don't have at least a goal in mind, and maybe that goal is just to be a better version of myself, any path will get you there. So
Mhm.
if someone is struggling with that, is there an advantage to using a coach in the personal development process to help you with that?
With
Or
having the
why would
goal?
you use a coach?
Sure. With having the goal?
Well, just using the coach with personal development process altogether.
When you say someone's struggling with that, you mean struggling with coming up with a goal or with the process of it?
The plan, the process, the goal, it can be any of those things, and in
Yeah.
many different areas of life and through different stages of life. Sometimes we still kind of know there's a goal, but maybe that goal has changed.
Hmm.
And sometimes, depending on what your upbringing is, it might be that changing your goal is not okay, or changing the plan midway is not
Hmm.
okay. So, what would be one of the advantages or multiple advantages of using a coach in the process to help you with all of those potential roadblocks that you come upon?
Sure. From my experience, I'll tell you that the three things that keep people from moving forward with their goals is clarity, which lack of clarity actually, um, lack of a feeling of empowerment or lack of feeling rewarded for what they're doing, and fear. Those are the three things, right?
Mhm.
And when you have a coach that works the way I do with goals and with clarity and with precision, and I might get to that why my business is called the Precision Coach. One of the things to do is to give precision to what exactly it is that I'm going to do for that goal. If I bring 10 people into this room right now, um, 9 or 10 out of 10 are going to have some sort of a goal, right? I want this or I want that, or they'll tell you, I want to be more mindful, I want to be more healthy, I want to get a better career, or I want to be in better financial status, whatever it is.
Mhm.
But if you ask each of them, what is it exactly that you did today or that you're going to do today towards that goal, I bet you that most of those people are going to struggle telling you the answer. And that's one of the reasons we don't get to our goals, because we don't have a solid plan of action. And you're absolutely right when you said, you can get there in multiple ways. There's so many ways you could get there, but that way has to be defined. It has to be precise, and I have to know exactly what I'm doing, how long I'm doing it, how I'm doing it on a day-to-day basis. That will give me the freedom to focus on the process. That will give me the freedom to enjoy what I'm doing for today and stop obsessing on that ultimate goal. When it comes, and that's like a cherry on top. But the process is the most enjoyable part.
Can you give
And
us an
then,
example?
sure, sure, I can give an example. Let's say someone wants to go to the gym.
Mhm.
Someone wants to become more fit, and they
Okay.
tell you, I want to work out more and I want to diet. How many people do you know that say that have that plan?
Well, nobody really ever wants to diet.
Well, they intend to. They intend to
They intend to
eat
lose
healthier,
weight. Yes.
or they intend to lose weight, or they intend to go to the gym or eat healthier. We'll put
Yep.
it that way, eat healthier, right?
Okay. Yes.
Just to have that goal in mind, I want to eat healthier. I'll be like, okay, I'll eat healthy. I'll pick up a carrot today and I'll have an apple. I'll skip the snack tomorrow, and then I'll have a little bit of that snack the next day, and I'll be like, oh, it's just a little bit. And I'll have two, and I'll have three, and then it gets lost. It kind of evaporates. I forget what I was doing. If someone comes to me and says, I have a plan to lose weight or become healthy, I'll ask them, what does that mean? They might say, I want to go to the gym. Okay, what does that mean? Well, it means I want to go work out. Tell me what that means. What's working out? Do you know exactly what you're doing? How many days a week do you want to work out? 3. Okay, what days? Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, good. How long are you going to be at the gym? They come up with that. What exercise are you doing? They come up with that. And okay, so that's your thing. And then for the amount of workout that you have, do you have a plan of making sure that the calories that you take in is less than what you burn? If they say yes, then we come up with a number. What is the number you're going to use? If the person has an exact image, exact picture in front of them, it makes it easier to do the work. It's not a guarantee though, because the other part of what I said is motivation, right? Some people lack that motivation, and that's when, again, a coach can come in.
Hey, DJ here. Are you like what I used to be like, with multiple different bottles of supplements and minerals and nutrients and trying to remember when you're supposed to take what when? Gone are those days. Neora's simplified system packs active ingredients in the smallest amounts of products that you have to take, making keeping your wellness and weight management simple.
All right. So for the motivation part, a coach can be helpful in multiple ways to help the person have discipline to keep doing what they want to do. Because most people, when they have a goal, they drop out before they see the result. And the reason for that is the way our mind works, the way the reward system in our brain works. We need a payoff for every single thing that we do. Even people with really, really good self-discipline, you would think that they can do things without a payoff, but that's absolutely not true. It's humanly impossible to do that. We need a payoff. The people that you see that have good discipline is they can take on those painful tasks, such as going to the gym day after day, even if they don't like it, by offsetting it by their own inner motivation, by the way they talk to themselves, by the way they add to the payoff. They get a kick out of it somehow. Somehow they motivate themselves, right? So as a coach, for people who don't yet have that experience of being consistent with their goals, being having the discipline to get them to a point where they see the big results, I often motivate people when they don't feel like doing what they said they would do by reminding them of why they wanted to do it to begin with, by reminding them what they're going through is worth what they're going through, by holding them accountable. Sometimes a person who, let's use the gym example, wants to get up and go to the gym like they promised themselves and me as a coach that they would, and they really, really, really don't feel like doing it. But then they know at the end of the day, they have to report back to me and they have to let me know that, yeah, I didn't go today. That serves as an extra motivation. So going to the gym gets an extra payoff now to do it. And eventually, using that, they will start to internalize that system of discipline and get to the goals that they could. So I coach immersively. That's my style of coaching. I'm in touch with my clients every single day to make sure that they're consistent and they're doing what they promised me and themselves that they were going to do.
Mm. And now, so I know there are a lot of coaches out there, and I'm sure that my listeners are thinking, okay, so what makes Bobby different
Mhm.
from other coaches out there? There are life coaches, there are health coaches, there are even fitness coaches. Now, I
Mhm.
happen to know that you started off this path as a therapist.
Right.
So, how is therapy different from availing yourself of a life coach with that background?
Okay. Thank you for asking that. Therapy is a regulated profession, meaning that we have some obligation to use strategies, to use techniques that have been shown scientifically to be effective, right? So that puts a lot more in my toolbox as a coach. Whereas coaching, you can pretty much go out there tomorrow and say that you're a coach. You could, because it means you're helping people. But I have a lot of respect because of my background in therapy for evidence-based practice. And what makes the difference between a therapist, if that was part of the question from my understanding, and a coach is a therapist helps with healing. Absolutely necessary, really important work. A coach helps with excelling, right? A coach is more hands-on, a coach is more motivational, holds you accountable, and that's what I do. I help with immersive daily coaching with my clients until they see the results that they want to see. It's not just once a week session, it's every single day. I don't work with more than 3 or 4 people at each given time because I want to give them that individualized attention using evidence-based tools that will guarantee results. And when I say guarantee, I mean that I have a policy, refund policy, that if someone starts to work with me, they don't see the change that they wanted, they get all of their money back. They get 100% back because the coaching that I offer is very robust and very hands-on.
And that is the difference between having someone with a professional background and someone who gets a certificate as a life coach. And I'm not bashing life coaches. by any means whatsoever, but knowing what it is that you want as an outcome is really important in helping you to determine who you should be looking for as a coach. So we're coming to the end of our episode here, but Bobby has indicated that he would be open to having a consultation session with anyone who would like to explore using a therapist-based coaching or the precision coach. And you can find that link in our show notes. I hope that you have taken away something from this episode, whether it's really helping to clarify in your mind that which maybe you've been struggling with, or helping you to solidify that, there is a need to consistently become a better version of yourself, and not necessarily just for the world around you, but for you. So stay tuned for our next episode that will be dropping in just a couple of weeks. Thanks again, Bobby.
All right. Thank you.
Do you think one of the biggest advantages to aging is all the knowledge we gain along the way? Me too. What did you learn today? Share with me in my Facebook group with the same name as this podcast, Advantages to Aging. Now hit subscribe so you don't miss all the tips to come in future episodes.